Borderline USA has been at the forefront of the landscape curbing industry since the 80s, creating curbing machines that greatly boost productivity and efficiency. Our curb machine, launched in the early 2000s, has played a pivotal role in producing millions of feet of curb all over the world, and recent upgrades have further solidified its position as a leading choice of curb machines on the market. These advancements reflect our commitment to quality and excellence for your landscape curbing projects. Let's take a look at the Sting. Before we talk about the Sting, I will need to educate those of you who are thinking about getting into the business and are looking at machines and equipment to purchase. There are at least a half a dozen landscape curbing machines on the market, and the end result is that they all put curb on the ground. The key is, what did it take to get that result? Did it take 2 to 3 times longer than it needed to? Those are questions we're going to answer. There are several issues with all curb machines. I'm here to explain what Borderline has done to address them. The number one problem that I see that all curb machines have is bridging. What this means is essentially the hopper is getting plugged up. The concrete creates a bridge across the hopper that you will need to break, usually with a shovel, to get that material to drop and is able to get extruded. If the shoveler throws too much concrete at one time or too fast or in the wrong spot, it can create this bridge. Some crews will have a separate bridge guy dig his shovel in the hopper so that it can be thrown faster. I don't want my guy to think about this. His job should be to feed the machine, to keep it going as fast and steady as he can, because in situations where you are installing, like this, on hills or angles, you don't want that machine to stop. It's very difficult for the operator. For the most part, bridging is caused by a design flaw with the machine that really the manufacturer does not want to address. Borderline has done several modifications over the years to help with this issue, and as you can see, we have virtually eliminated the problem. The size and the angle of the hopper is pretty important to prevent the bridging from happening. This is 17 inches long, 10 inches wide, and it's because it's so long, it can kind of spread out that material instead of stacking it on top of each other, which would create a stronger bridge. The angles of the steel are perfect to allow that to slide down. But I'd say the biggest part of our machine that prevents the bridging is the length of the stroke. We have a dual track and trolley system here where you're allowed to get 50% longer stroke than the rest of the competitors that we have. This is going to be a 6-inch long push on your plunger compared to 4. So essentially you're getting 50% more material per revolution than the other machines. The thing is, because that stroke is longer, that means the chute at the bottom, or the hole in the bottom of the hopper, is wider. So the concrete has a more difficult time creating that bridge because it's going to be too heavy in the middle. It's just going to fall in. We can adjust the speed on our machine to make it go faster, slower, to accommodate basically your experience level. I have my guys do this on purpose just to kind of prove a point that even with 2 guys shoveling really fast, it's pretty hard to get them to plug it up. Now they eventually did, but that's not a normal situation. It's really important for the operator to keep moving. It's easier to maintain a line. It gets frustrating after a while when that machine plugs up all the time and you're trying to control that. So it's very important for your curb machine to take care of that so your shoveler doesn't. I know there are guys watching right now that run other machines that are not familiar with the Sting. But wouldn't it be nice if you were the one that dictated how fast your machine moved? You can speed up the Sting or slow it down based on the situation you're in or your experience level. It's your choice because it doesn't bridge. Not only is curb getting on the ground faster, your waste is greatly reduced because our undercarriage is partially enclosed. We call it a skid system. Every Sting has had this to reduce slag for the last 25 years. There's only one other manufacturer that I know of who has even addressed the slag issue and has added a similar setup to their machine, and it looks like it's helped them tremendously. The other guys will simply tell you that slag is a part of the curbing process and it's something that you're going to have to deal with. Well, I disagree. If you can eliminate or even reduce it some, you'll be on the job site for less time. Spending 30 minutes walking around with a bucket picking up slag is a complete waste of time. Anyone watching that is new to the business might not get the significance of some of what we are going to talk about next. The experienced guys will. The landscape curbing industry has really advanced in the last several years with a type of stamping that can be done to resemble stone in very, very aggressive textures. To achieve this, our mix designs and processes have changed dramatically to offer much softer mixes. Curb machines hate this because all of them really struggle to push this mix. The two main problems I see is the bridging is much worse on these machines and the weight distribution of the machine isn't adequate or it's off. In 2020, we redesigned the Sting because the industry changed. Lighter machines tend to hop in front with soft mixes, so guys will add weight to keep the nose down. We extended the hopper to put extra weight forward to prevent this. We also moved the front tires ahead 4 inches. This keeps them in line with the front of the mold to help prevent damage while moving or storing the machine. A lot of our competitors' machines just can't handle a soft mix like this. We did this training back in 2018, made a mix really soft, just like that. That's really sloppy. The machine is actually a 2018 Sting, so this is before the redesign. I slowed this video down just a little bit so I could show you, but you can see how the hopper is not as far forward over the top of the mold. This is going to result in a little bit of hopping in front because it's so soft, and you can see the result is a little bit more slag on the side. It's just absolutely amazing the type of mixes that this machine can run, and because of that, the type of curb that you can do. That type of mix right there will really produce some cool stone type of curb, make you more money in the long run. What do you get when you purchase a Sting? Number one, you're going to get a mold and 2 trowels. Typically, we're going to put a slant mold on here. This is a low profile slant, by far the most popular in the country, but you can choose whatever mold that you'd want. You just have to specify when you order your machine. Your purchase includes a full toolkit. This is going to have all the wrenches that you're going to need to do any maintenance. It's going to have a cable cutter if you choose to do cable. They have an extra set of bearings for your track and trolley in case one goes out, so you don't have any downtime. You're going to have a back strap, and you're going to have an accessories bag. Your accessories bag is just that. It's for the accessories that you might need. It attaches to the back of the steering assembly. I always put my phone in here, a bottle of water, my cable cutters, even our back strap and things like that that we might need that's readily available. I always lost my water in the grass somewhere, so this thing is really nice to have on your machine. I mentioned the back strap. What this is used for is for going uphill or in places where you just need some extra pull pressure. Going uphill, you're pulling on a 200-pound machine. To have a strap around your waist really takes a lot of pressure off your back. This strap is going to connect to eye bolts that are on your steering assembly. We always have ours hooked up and it's always sitting there, so if I ever want to jump in it, I can and use it going uphill. We're still the only machine that has a brake for going downhill also. You can apply this and it'll create some extra pressure for you for better compaction. You'll have a side plate on your machine, so that'll prevent any of that concrete from going into the customer's flowers or their beds as you throw it in. We're also the only ones that include a second travel tire. All the rest of the machines that are sold have one tire on the front when you move it from one spot to the next. Your machine will just tip over on its own. So 2 travel tires is really a must. A tie rod on a Sting is fully adjustable. It can be removed for maintenance issues, but essentially if you look at the pins, what you can do is you can remove the lower pins, pull that tie rod higher so it's sitting on top of the pin, and now it'll float in between the 2 pins on either side. The issue is if you're on side hills, the one tire is going to be lower than the other tires, so it's really nice to have that tie rod slide up and down really easy. That keeps your tires straight and allows you to concentrate on other things like keeping your line and your compaction. The Sting is already set up for cable right when you get it with our new cable guide system. Your plunger is going to have a hole pre-drilled with a thicker metal backing to prevent that from wearing out. The steering handle is going to have 3 guides in it where you can run the cable right through. It's going to go right underneath the machine, out the front through the plunger. It's very simple. You don't need any special type of mounts or anything like that to run cable with the Sting. It comes pre-done and you're ready. It's very important that you clean and maintain your machine. Just like anything else, we've created an engine pin system on the Sting to where you can take that engine off and put it back on really in less than a minute. Makes it really simple to clean. So there's a cotter pin right here that you're going to pull, and then there's a handle in the back, and you go ahead and just pull that handle, and it's going to release that engine plate. You go ahead and tilt that engine forward, take the belt off, and from this point, right now that engine is released. You can go ahead and pull it off and set it off to the side. It's incredible. You can see now everything is open and accessible, so cleaning shouldn't be an issue anymore. You can check bearings, and with that engine off, you can go ahead and flip the machine vertically, and I can clean everything underneath. We do this after every single job. Another thing too is you're eventually going to break a pull cord. To take that engine off really quick and throw on a new recoil, pop it back on, really only takes a few minutes instead of a lot longer on a job site. Your track and trolley is going to be the most important part of your curb machine. We leave this open in the back so it's accessible, so that you can take a look at this every single day, make sure everything is clean and working properly. This whole system here can be taken out in a matter of minutes. 2 bolts on either side of the crossbar here. Once you pull those out, you can go inside the hopper and take the bolt out right there. That whole system will then come out the bottom. You can put it on a workbench. You can go ahead and change all your bearings. Maybe it's the end of the season and you're going to do your yearly maintenance. It's very, very simple to take that whole system out and clean it up and make sure everything is working good, because that's what's making you the money. Thank you for watching. I hope the information I provided was helpful, not only about our curbing machine, but overall in curbing in general. I'd be glad to answer any more questions you may have. You can certainly give us a call at Borderline at 701-751-2705. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.